How is everybody doing today? Boylon here, and I'm back for another Marvel Strike Force video. I do want to apologize for the gaps and delays in videos. It has been a pretty stressful week with our new puppy Loki, and I just really haven't had a good solid block of time to be able to do videos between other things going on, so hope all you, you guys can all excuse me for that. So today's video is going to be part 2 of my Legendaries video, except it's actually going to be part 2 of 3 as I decided to split the remaining characters off that way. So we'll be focusing today on Shuri, Invisible Woman, and Phoenix today. And then the next video, which hopefully won't be too long off, we'll be getting to the end with Black Bolt, Ebony Maw, and Dr. Octopus. So as per the first video, this will be in my PowerPoint style of information giving, and I hope that this helps you guys decide on how and where to best use the legendary characters. So without further ado, let's get things started. Right, so here we are at the start of the PowerPoint slideshow. So the reason why we're splitting this into 3 separate videos, or 2 more videos, is actually I for some reason I forgot about Phoenix, and I don't know why I did that. But so we're going to be doing 3 characters today, which is Invisible Woman, Phoenix, and Shuri. And then the next day, the next video is going to be Black Bolt, Ebony Maw, and Dr. Octopus. So there is quite a lot to talk about with these 3 characters. So I wanted to give them the time that they deserved in this video. So let's get started here. So this is Legendaries, the Then and Now, part 2, a video series looking at the second third, that's a weird way to say it, of legendary characters in Marvel Strike Force. So for this video, Shuri, Invisible Woman, and Phoenix, how to get them, what they're good at now, where you can use them, and I'm also adding in the recommended ISO 8 classes, so different types of classes you can use for different scenarios, and are they worth building out of 10? So if you guys watched my first video, you'll know that I gave them a certain rating. These characters are probably going to be a bit higher than the first video, so let's get things started. So first off, we have Shuri. Her tags are Hero, Global, Tech, Support, and she's of the Wakandan team, and she does have this new legendary trait. So they added this to everyone, and I'm including this. I forgot to add it in the first video, I think, but this is largely to do with Dark Dimension 4, which is going to have its own legendary trait lane, and you can only use these characters, so I'm just pointing that out there. So the legendary Shuri, I'm pretty sure that's copywritten, but she was the 5th legendary release character, unlocked via 5 characters at 5-star, Spider-Verse characters only. Now I say that, but there is a lot to choose from, but normally the most recommended path to unlocking Shuri is the Sinister 6. They are the easiest and the most recommended because it doubles to unlock for Invisible Woman, which is very important as well. So you can get 2 legendaries for the price of 1 by just taking up Sinister 6. So the recommended characters for this includes Rhino, which you can get from the Blitz store, Mysterio from the Raid store, and Heroes 2-3. I think this is limited. This is the whole Doom event thing, which might be temporary for the next month and a half or so. We'll have to see if that carries on or if it stays after that. Same with Green Goblin, Shocker, Green Goblin and Shocker particularly. So these Villains 2-3 and Heroes 3-9, which is very early on. This was an additional node that was given to them with this like bonus Doom event thing, and Vulture can be found in the Arena store. There are other non-Sinister 6 characters that are fairly easy to get if you don't want to do Sinister 6 for whatever reason, so that includes Original Spider-Man, which is in the Blitz store. Miles Morales, the version of Spider-Man, is also in the Blitz store, and Venom, who is Nexus 6-9. So these are other additional characters that you can farm if you don't want to go full in on Sinister 6 for whatever reason. So she is the 5th character in the traditional Wakandan team. She does boost the speed and max health and armor of the Wakandans, but very often she's used outside of this team, and to be honest, the Wakandan team really isn't all that good. Shuri, Black Panther, and Killmonger are quite nice, but Okoye and M'Baku are pretty awful characters, so she is a very good support character for any team, especially for raids in Dark Dimension. She is usable in the following campaigns, so Heroes, Nexus, Heroes 7-4 to 7-6, which is specifically global characters, Doom War 2-1 to 2-3, which is specific to Wakandans, and of course the Chaos Theory Flash event, which isn't new, but it's the newest Flash event to come to Marvel Strike Force. So that's for promotion credits, for silver and gold promotion credits, a very worthwhile investment as well. So she is great in Dark Dimension 2 as well. A lot of people still use her. She's a very solid support character here. She gives 2 turns of defense up to all allies and extra ability energy, which is great in combo with Minerva. And I put maybe Ghost because she is a new character, but a lot of people are going to start considering to build up Ghost, possibly along alongside Minerva as well for Dark Dimension 2 and for Dark Dimension 3, and really just all of Dark Dimension going forward. So very useful in that Dark Dimension 3 global lane. She's probably going to be like a 4th or 5th consideration at this point for Dark Dimension 3, but I wouldn't discount her entirely. She's still a very solid support character, and she's going to have future use in Dark Dimension 4 Legendary lane. Like I said, I think she's going to be quite good there, and you're going to need about 4 or 5 characters for that, so I suspect that Shuri is probably going to be on that list. Is she worth it? I would say definitely yes. For someone who is easily obtainable via a range of Spider-Verse characters, she is a great addition to any roster. She's not very difficult to unlock. It just depends on sort of the timing for the event and when it's coming back around for you. She excels very well in raids in Dark Dimension specifically. She can fill in many teams for Alliance Wars. I've seen her on the Mercs team for defense instead of Bullseye. I've also seen people use her as a 5th member for symbiotes if you don't have all of them built up, because Wakandans really aren't an amazing team, and I wouldn't recommend building the entire team, and they're not really good and don't really have a lot of places right now. She's not really useful in arena game mode though. I don't think I've ever really seen her on any teams, and there's not really any reason to put her there. And in terms of ISO 8 classes, I do recommend the healer class. This is kind of obvious for a lot of support characters, but in this case, she does have passive and flat healing amounts that'll get boosted by the healer class as well. So I think that's what you probably should work on there. Like I said, she's a great early and mid-game legendary to unlock. She's pretty easy to unlock, and she can really help out an early Ultimus raiding team and kind of getting set up for Dark Dimension 2 if you need an extra character for that as a solid support character. So overall, she's a really well-rounded support, and she gets an 8 out of 10 for me, for Shuri, the Wakandan Legendary. So moving on, we do have Invisible Woman. This is our second to talk about in this video. So she is a hero, cosmic, bio, protector, and she has the Fantastic Four team tag, and of course that new legendary tag as well. So she is the legendary for the Fantastic Four and the 5th member of that team. She is unlocked via 5 characters and 5-star Sinister Six only. So whereas Shuri was unlocked via Spider-Verse, which has a lot wider range of characters, Sinister Six is a little bit more specific, but you can double up and use the same Sinister Six characters for both Shuri and for Invisible Woman. So it kind of makes sense to do Sinister Six that way, because they're also Spider-Verse tags. So like I said, for the Shuri part, these are really the best characters. I'm not going to go over it too much here, but the original Sinister Six are the best. So Rhino, Mysterio, Green Goblin, Shocker, and Vulture. You can, however, also use Electro and Swarm if you happen to have them at 5-star plus, be my guest. They are better characters. And for whatever reason, if you happen to have Dr. Octopus, but you don't have Invisible Woman, then you could go backwards and use that as well. But normally that's not the order of unlock, so I would be surprised if you have Dr. Octopus and don't have Invisible Woman. But yeah, that's how things are currently set up right now. So moving on, she significantly boosts the power of the Fantastic Four team, giving plus 20% max health to Fantastic Four, Namor, and She-Hulk allies. So a lot of the She-Hulk related stuff is new content that came last patch, so I've added that in here. So on war defense with She-Hulk, with She-Hulk, I think I messed up the text here. I'm going to need to fix this over. Anyways, on war defense with She-Hulk, they get 2 turns of defense up between She-Hulk and all the Fantastic Four allies. Now, her ultimate applies offense down for 2 turns and barriers all allies for 40% of her max health. And then when a Fantastic Four, this is part of the passive actually, but when a Fantastic Four or She-Hulk ally is hit with barrier up, she retaliates for damage. So I'm really disappointed that this was never added to Namor's text, because Namor was part of the original sort of Fantastic Four setup, and unfortunately when Namor's hit, she doesn't retaliate, but she does with She-Hulk, so it's slightly unfortunate there. So her special clears 2 negative effects from self and all allies, and applies stealth to self and all allies. And then the highest health ally pops out of stealth, gets 3 deflect and immunity for 2 turns. So basically, whoever is the highest health ally at the time, this could be really anyone, it depends on who's been hit and whatnot, whoever has the most amount of actual health gets popped out of stealth and gets these buffs. It also clears stealth from all enemies. So this is originally designed to either make herself a tank, because she's got a lot of health, or maybe someone like the Thing, who also has a lot of health and then ends up being the tank sort of by default with the stealth mechanic. Traditionally a war offense team alongside Namor, but more recently with the introduction of She-Hulk, they have given her that war defense option. But what you want to do is entirely up to you. I currently have them on war offense, but I know a few people do have them on war defense who pulled some good red stars for She-Hulk, but that's a separate video. So she is usable in Arena as part of this hybrid legendary team, so that's what I call it anyways, and so that would include characters like Invisible Woman, Phoenix, Black Bolt, and Colossus, because Phoenix and Colossus kind of go hand in hand. And then I say insert 5th meta character here. Now this could be someone like Symbiote Spider-Man, this could be Emma Frost, this could be Ultron, you know, there's quite a few characters that can be placed in this spot, and this is sort of I think the second best, maybe second or third best Arena composition before getting to Black Order and things like that, where things start getting really serious. So quite commonly used to potentially counter characters like the Brotherhood, Emma Frost debuffs, and symbiotes possibly. I put question mark because symbiotes are starting to appear up in other people's Arena shards, not in mine, but I haven't really fought too much with the symbiotes, specifically with Invisible Woman, but I imagine that given her kit, that this could be a possibility here. She is decent in raids, but there are quite a bit better support options. I say support because even though she's a protector tag, she does have a lot of support abilities. So characters like Shuri, I think, would have more longevity in the raid than Invisible Woman is. The barrier is really helpful, but it's on a long cooldown and you might not get that back around very often. So she is decent there, but I think there are better choices. Equally, she's, you know, decent in Dark Dimension, but again, I think there are probably better meta options available. So characters like Emma Frost, Shuri, Minerva, you know, other characters who provide these sort of supporty sort of functions, I think that she's not the best choice. That being said, I did take her into Dark Dimension 3 Cosmic, and she did quite well. But because she's a bio character, it's really tough to consider gearing her because there's a lot of good bio options out there, especially with the symbiotes now, Black Bolt, and so on. You know, there's probably more that I could name. You know, bio gear is very contested, so keep that in mind when you're gearing up Invisible Woman. She is usable in the following campaigns though, so Heroes, Nexus, Cosmic, Heroes 7-7 to 7-9, which is Cosmic specific, I believe, which unlocks Colossus, and Doom 1-7 to 1-9. This is the Negasonic unlock portion, and this is specific to Fantastic Four characters. So finally, is she worth it? And I say yes. She's not as good as Shuri, but you know, you can unlock her in the same way that you would typically unlock both of them. So you're getting kind of two for the price of one, so that's really good there. She is more useful in Arena and Alliance War than she is in Raids in Dark Dimension now, because there's better options to fill the similar role like I mentioned. I personally use her on War Offense alongside Namor rather than the defense version with She-Hulk, but maybe this might change in the future when She-Hulk becomes farmable, but currently she isn't as of this video. In terms of ISO 8 classes, you could either go with Healer if you're looking to use her for campaigns and other things that could stretch out her sustainability for the team, or Fortifier is also a really solid choice. And the reason why Fortifier is quite interesting actually is because it gives her extra barrier, which actually triggers her retaliation on her passive. So as long as she has barrier, she's triggering this retaliation. So she does get a 7 out of 10, which is a pretty decent score for me. I think she's great at where she excels at, but she's average in other places. But she's still definitely worth picking up and considering to gear up because she is a legendary character. And, you know, we don't know if she's going to be kind of put back into the game a bit more, and especially with Dr. Doom around the corner, you know, she might be used a lot more there, especially in the Arena mode. So keep an eye on Invisible Woman. So now moving to the third and final character for this particular video, we do have Phoenix, who is really crazy. So let's start it off. She is Hero, Global, Mutant, Controller, and she's X-Men, but she does have this uncanny tag, which is new from this patch, I believe, as of patch 4.5, and she has that legendary tag, of course. So she is the legendary for the X-Men or uncanny X-Men, but frankly, she's really amazing anywhere that you can use her. She's great at blowing things up. She is unlocked via 5 characters and 5-star Villain, Mystic, Controller. Now this is really important. These are 3 separate tags that were put together specifically for Phoenix, and when it came out, it was just some bonkers decision to do that. So she Originally, they only included 5 characters, and that was Mordo, who you could find in the Arena store, Ronin in the Raid store, Loki and Mystic 3-6, Hand Assassin, yeah, you heard that right, so it's a minion Hand Assassin. A lot of people were in uproar over this. It was crazy, such a crazy decision for this, who is farmable in Nexus 7-6. And Nobu, who is in Villains 6-3, and he is in the War Store, but please don't spend your war credits on Nobu. It's such a waste in my opinion. And there is a 6th character now who wasn't at the time, but now there is Hela, who is in Villains 7-6, who I would recommend farming if you were able to, and it would basically prevent you wouldn't need to farm either Hand Assassin or Nobu. You could supplement Hela for one of those two if you're able to do that. Otherwise, you're going to have to do the 5 that are listed above. And I put Dr. Doom in the future because he is actually tagged Villain Mystic Controller, but obviously we don't have him yet, and that's kind of crazy to think about. I don't know anyone who might have Dr. Doom but wouldn't have Phoenix, so that's crazy. Anyways, let's get things started with Phoenix. So she significantly boosts the power of the Uncanny X-Men this is the sort of original ones, which include Colossus, Wolverine, Cyclops, Psylocke, Beast, and Storm. So that's 30% damage and 30% max health to them, which is quite a significant boost to them. Her special also stealths all allies for 2 turns and gives defense up to all allies, transferring all negative effects to self, and it redistributes 25% of her health to the allies. Now, the reason why she does this is basically she wants to kill herself to spawn as Dark Phoenix. Now, I put the Destroyer of Worlds because basically the key goal with Phoenix is killing herself, spawning Dark Phoenix, and just unleashing, you know, everything, you know, crazy amounts of damage. Her kit is super powerful, easily one of the most powerful characters in the game, but it's considered a summon, which is quite interesting. So a lot of people use her for Dark Dimension, and she just has crazy damage. I'm not going to go into the kit in its entirety because it's a very large kit, but I would recommend checking it out in game just to really get an idea as to how crazy she actually is. But she just does so much damage and blows everything up. So moving on, she's highly usable in every game mode, but she's not so amazing in raids due to Dark Phoenix mechanics. So when she dies, she's dead. And even if she's in Dark Phoenix, once you end the match or the node, you know, she's dead, and you're gonna have to bring her back through raid heal packs, which really isn't that sustainable. But she is really good for those boss fights, like singular boss fights that you really need that extra damage, and Phoenix and Dark Phoenix will really help you get through that. So really tough Ultima 6 or 7 nodes, wherever you happen to be at the time. She is amazing in Arena, basically up until you start seeing Black Order in your Arena shard. Black Order because of Ebony Maw, who's kind of designed to counter Phoenix, so that makes it a bit more trickier. But she will improve your team in any composition, but she's best paired with Colossus. So Colossus is kind of like her tank buddy that is there to really help you in Arena and Alliance War and basically everywhere else. They need to be paired up together to really utilize Phoenix better. She's very strong in war offense. You can basically kill most meta teams on the market if you're high enough power. You can even kill Black Order, I think, punching down a little bit or slightly punching across. And she's a must-have for Dark Dimension 3, especially those first 8 nodes, including the 4 global nodes as well. She'll be highly usable in Dark Dimension 4, but it's specific to this new Legendary lane, which is a new lane for Dark Dimension 4. She is usable in the following campaigns: Heroes Nexus, Heroes 7-4 to 7-6, which is a global global node, sorry. Nexus 8-7 to 8-9, which I believe is specific to X-Men, and then Doom War 1-1 to 1-3, which I believe is specific to Hero Mutants. And now I want to mention that if you're going to use Phoenix in any of these campaigns, ideally you want to use Beast if you have Beast, because Beast passive basically allows you to lose Phoenix through Dark Phoenix and still get the 3-star, even because once Phoenix dies you basically lose your chance of 3-star. But if you use her alongside Beast and a few other X-Men, then you can still get the 3 stars alongside the campaign mission. So just to let you guys know there about using Phoenix. Is she worth it? Absolutely. Work on her unlock requirements as soon as you possibly can. She'll really propel your game quite a bit forward competitively in Arena and Dark Dimension 3 and beyond. She is a very powerful character who, you know, is borderline OP for quite some time until Ebony Maw was introduced, which kind of helped to counter her a little bit. She has no set ISO 8 recommendation, but because Dark Phoenix does not get classes as a summon because of that. I do use her as a striker though, because the basic does remove positive effects, so this kind of really helps sort of follow up and clear some more positives if you need to. So she does get my 9 out of 10 rating because she is a mind-blowing legendary. And really, that's it. I can go back to my other slide. That's the end of the video. So this is the end of my Shuri, Invisible Woman, and Phoenix. I hope this helps you guys think about legendary characters more broadly and how to use these three in the game. Now, if I missed something or if there's something that you guys would like to know, then please comment down below and I can get back to you guys. Or of course, just hit me up anywhere that you can find me on Discord or on YouTube, and you know, I can help clarify some of the comments, some of the things that you guys, questions you guys might have on these characters. So thanks everyone for watching today, and I'll see you guys on my next video, and of course until then, stay safe and I'll see y'all later. Boylon signing out.